Um, Welcome to the attic. It's another week of quarantine, another week of you know, staying at home, learning from home, doing uni from home, working from home. Who knows what you're doing at home? But this week we're joined by some really special people. We got Ollie. Come in, Ollie. We got Claire. Please come in, say hi.
Make sure I'm socially distanced.
And our brave leader, Christian.
Brave.
Christian Suka.
Hey!
Yes.
Hey guys, good to see you all.
Yep, and of course it's me, Adam, your favourite leader. It was in the quiz last week, so I don't know who put it there, but I know Adam is your favourite leader, so that's me. Yeah, g'day guys. We're gonna be doing some pretty interesting stuff today. At least I reckon. Also, let me know if the audio is good. If you guys are hearing me clearly, give us a nice thumbs up. But yeah, we're gonna be some interesting. The silver ball is the mic, Henman Dingo. But yeah, we're gonna be playing some videos. We're gonna be having a good talk, and we're gonna play some games in Discord, in our own discussion group. So more on that as we come by. Yep, it's a microphone. Yep. Also, I wanted to ask, who is Henman Dingo? We've been quizzing about this, and we have no idea who Henman Dingo is.
That's Henry.
The audio is good, but not the video. We're working on it, Jackson. Don't worry. We'll get some good camera in at one point.
One step at a time.
Yeah, one step at a time, Jackson. All right. We're not made of money, but we'll sort it out at one stage. But yeah, you're sort of quiet some parts and normal the next sec. Interesting. Maybe if I just move a little bit closer here. Yep. Oh, it's Henry. Oh, okay. Yes, good. Renee, g'day. Good to see you again. No, don't swear in the chat. That's not what we want, Finn. It's not on.
I will be giving timeouts in chat.
Yes, there will be timeouts in chat.
Yeah, remind them not to spam.
Yeah, and don't spam. Apparently that was bad last week. I wasn't here last week, so I don't know. But I was told that apparently I'm your favourite leader, and I'm still very grateful for that, guys. So thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. Jackson, you don't miss school. Look, bro, nor do I. I think nor does anyone else. But like, don't you do learning from home? Isn't that a thing? In 2 minutes? Yeah, alright, yeah. Also, in 2 minutes, we're going to have something else come on, but for now, tell me about your online schooling. How was it? How is it? What do you guys learn? What do you guys do? Is it any good, even? Let me know. Jackson, please. Anyone. You miss school, Hannah. I straight up don't believe you. We don't learn. Nothing. Ah. Interesting. That's look, that's not that's not good. It's very easy. Yeah. My history teacher sings the Russian revolutionary anthem on a video conference. Right. Yes, you finished and started an assessment that was due today. Good on you, Jacob. Look, you're taking a page out of my book, and I like it. All right, don't tell your parents. Or yeah, don't do that. Actually, no, don't do that. Anyway, we've got for community time today, which we're going to transition into right now. We've got some videos. The leaders are just going to tell you guys about what we've been doing during coronavirus isolation. We're going to tell you a little bit about how our days have been. So, Ollie, please send us in using some computer magic.
Hey team, welcome to my crib. Basically, the biggest change for me when it comes to all this COVID stuff is this is now my work setup. It is entirely on my bed. I'm spending a lot more time at home, getting to enjoy pretty sick views like this, and I'm spending more time with this guy.
Fellowship.
Hey team, I just thought I'd show you a little bit about what my routine is like since kind of getting into a bit of social distancing, and I figured out that I essentially do 3 things. This, and so much of this. Just so much.
Hey guys, just much like everyone, I'm sure I've really felt the effects of all these restrictions put in place. Not being able to see people face to face, the sense of losing your freedom, sitting behind a computer desk almost all day, every day, it has its own challenges. But I have realized something, and that is there are people out there who have even worse than we do every single day, whether through persecution, through domestic violence, through slavery, all sorts of things. Fill in the blanks for me. But yeah, there's definitely people out there who just face this sort of thing each and every day. And that has come by reflecting on what we're going through. But also, that means we can acknowledge the one who has freed us from death and from the slavery to sin. No matter who you are, what your situation is, keep looking to Jesus, and He'll one day deliver us from this and from all the other sense of suffering and brokenness. Yeah.
Alright, attic. Awake.
What's that?
I'm talking to the attic. Has meant a lot of this cat, this dude, and a lot of time spent in this room. Got a bit of an art setup, bit of a dual screen. COVID means I don't really have any work to do. Uni's full steam ahead, but kind of lost my jobs because of it. But it's all good. Keep going.
What hasn't changed is this is still my bedroom in which I sleep and sit, and I am still me, and I still wear shoes during the day, which is my pro tip for anyone working from home. I also still use my study for uni work, but what has changed is that I also use my study for uni classes and my part-time work office. I spend a lot of time on Zoom. I use it from everything from uni tutorials to church to meetings to just a friend catch up or doing a crossword together. Please appreciate my houseplant.
Yo, now you can hear me, right? You should be able to hear me. I'm going to do the Bible reading again. I just would like you all to admire my backyard haircut before we move on. Hold on. Just for a full 360. There you go. That's the COVID haircut. That's how I've been spending my time. Sick. Alright. So, Claire's going to remind me because I'm going to say it incorrectly, but I'm pretty sure the Bible reading is Luke chapter 24 verses 1 to 12. I didn't get it wrong. There we go. I will give you a second to find a physical Bible, or you're all on computers or devices, so that's there's plenty of Bible on the internet, and so you can find Luke chapter 24 verses 1 finishing after verse 12. Alright, so here we go. I'm going to read the Bible. On the first day of the week, very early in the morning, the women took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb. They found the stone rolled away from the tomb, but when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were wondering about this, suddenly 2 men in clothes that gleamed like lightning stood beside them. In their fright, the women bowed down with their faces to the ground. But the men said to them, "Why do you look for the living among the dead? He is not here, he is risen. Remember how he told you, while he was still with you in Galilee? The Son of Man must be delivered over to the hands of sinners, be crucified, and on the 3rd day be raised again." Then they remembered his words. When they came back from the tomb, they told all these things to the 11 and to all the others. It was Mary Magdalene, Joanna, Mary the mother of James, and the others who told this to the apostles. But they did not believe the women, because their words seemed to them like nonsense. Peter, however, got up and ran to the tomb. Bending over, he saw the strips of linen laying by themselves, and he went away, wondering to himself what had happened.
Oh, weird silver microphone is in my way. Now, guys, we understand that you're having issues with lag, and we've seen many comments about the lag. And comments requesting Zoom. Now, as somebody who spent about 10 hours on Zoom this week at least, Zoom is not epic, whoever said that. Anyway, comments about lag aside, I'm going to talk to us about the passage from the Bible that Ollie just read. We're actually going to do a bit of a skip and a chop and a change through different parts of the Bible, looking at what happened on Easter Sunday. Easter is coming up. Easter this year is probably going to be really different for people compared to previous years. But it's a good idea always to check in with this part of the Bible at this time of year to see exactly what's the Bible is saying about what happened to Jesus in this window. Now, I don't know about you, but I often find when I watch a TV show and it's all the way at the end and it's the last ever episode of the TV show, that episode is often not as good as the episode that comes beforehand. The last episode's often just lots of wrapping stuff up and making sure it's all tidy, and all the action and all the important stuff happened in the episode before. Now, sometimes I think we talk about the resurrection that way, as if it's the wrap-up episode of the story of the Gospels, as if it's not that important, because what's important is that Jesus died for our sins. And we often talk about Jesus dying for our sins, but how often when somebody's talking to you about the gospel, do they also say, "and he rose from the dead," as part of their gospel presentation? Usually people just say, Jesus died for our sins. But the important thing is that we don't miss how important the resurrection is. It really reshapes what the whole world is going to look like from here on out, and we don't want to miss that point. So, as Ollie just read to us, in this account, there's a bunch of women who go to the tomb to anoint Jesus' body. They couldn't do it when the day after he was crucified, because that was the Sabbath, and you're not allowed to do those things on the Sabbath. And instead, they came back a couple of days later to do it, and the tomb is open, and there's nothing there except these 2 mysterious dudes in white who say, Jesus isn't here anymore. In other Gospels, the women walk off and Mary Magdalene runs into Jesus in the garden near the tomb. And in almost all Gospels, most of the disciples don't believe the women, because in that time, women's words were not necessarily believed. And that's part of how the resurrection's starting to reshape the world. In the letters that come after the Gospels, you hear Paul talking about how there's no male or female, there's no Jew or Greek, and that's partly what you're seeing here. Jesus has entrusted this really important message to people who society's not going to listen to. And he's saying, no, these people are worth listening to because this is an important thing that's happened. Somebody has risen from the dead. It's huge. So eventually, as we go through this chapter, which we didn't read out the whole chapter, Jesus starts appearing to people all over the place. And he has a whole big chat with two of his disciples as they walk along a road. And then he appears to another bunch of them in a locked room. And Jesus, it's like he's really different. People don't recognize him. After the resurrection, time and time again, people are like, who is this person I'm speaking to? Until Jesus does one specific thing or another specific thing. And then they're like, wait, mate, that's Jesus. So it all looks very complicated to us, and we start to think, what does the resurrection even mean? I know Jesus died for my sins, but then we've got this weird circumstance where Jesus comes back, people don't recognize him, and what's going on? And is this even really important for me to really cling to in my faith? Well, if you skip forward again to the letters that are in the later part of the New Testament, you get to a section of 1 Corinthians where Paul talks specifically about the resurrection. And essentially what Paul says is, if the resurrection didn't happen, then what was the point of Jesus dying? Because if the resurrection didn't happen, then we all are going to die, definitely. And that death is the end of it. We just go into the ground and are food for worms. And that's because back in Genesis, when humanity sinned, one of the big things that happened was that God said, we can't let people live forever in sinfulness because that would be really, really bad. Instead, they're going to die. They're not going to live forever. And with Jesus resurrecting, it means that we all have the opportunity to also be people who are resurrected. It might not happen. We might still die and be resurrected later, or it might be that Jesus returns before we die. But ultimately, we're going to have the kind of bodies that Jesus has in this passage. We're going to be the kind of people who people might not recognize, because a resurrection body is a body the way God intended it to be. It's perfected, it's new, it's different, and there's something about it that people don't quite recognize and people don't quite get in this sinful world. And ultimately, it's pointing us to this time when Jesus has returned and the world is fixed up. The world is back what God wanted it to be in the beginning. And especially in this current climate with everybody so uncertain and people sick and people dying of coronavirus, it's important to remember that God's plan for the world is not that we end up in a grave and we rot. God's plan for the world is to make it new. It's to make it different. It's to make a world where people of every tribe and nation and tongue, where people who are male and female, everyone comes together to worship God. And in that place, there is no pain and there is no suffering and there is no death. And I don't know about you, but to me, that sounds like a pretty big world and a good world to live in. So as people talk to you, as Easter comes up, if you're a Christian and they ask you, why do you think the resurrection's important? You need to say, because if sin is dealt with, everything about sin needs to be dealt with. And that means that it's important that Jesus doesn't stay dead. It's important that sin doesn't have this victory of death over people anymore. And if you're not a Christian and you're out there listening in internet land with us today, it's important that you remember that you think about over Easter what it might mean to believe in a God who wants to make this world right again, who wants to make this world a perfected and new world. Now, I'm going to try and answer some questions if you've had any up there, but I can't really see them from where I'm sitting because I decided to move to a different spot. So I might get Lad or Adam to read some out to me if they see any.
Yeah. They're a bit behind you, so...
And sorry, there is, again, a 10-second delay, so your questions might not have got to us yet.
Why are there only male angels in the Bible?
Good question. I don't know the answer, but I also don't know that the angels are male. Like, there is this kind of, they appear masculine when they appear in the Bible, and they have masculine names. And angels, we often think about angels as kind of cutesy and little and cheruby, but they're actually like big, tough, buff guys. That's kind of what an angel looks like, is the Bible, as the Bible kind of presents it. But I wouldn't know why we don't see any female angels, But also, as I said, I wouldn't know that angels have a gender specifically as we conceive it or how they're appearing. It's not something people have thought a great deal about. So it's a really good question, and you've got me stumped, and I would like to probably research it a little bit myself, but I don't know that there's an answer out there. Sorry, whoever asked that. I don't know who asked that.
Imi reckons they're genderless.
Imi, I agree with you, but I'm not sure. Any other questions out there on the screen? People over near the screen?
Imi knows a lot about angels though.
Supposedly, Imi has all the angel knowledge if you look at the comments. Now, it seems like people don't have a lot of questions. So we're going to have a discussion groups in a moment. Our discussion groups are going to include the game tonight because it's easier to do in smaller groups for the nature of the game we're doing. But just a few things with the holidays coming up that we wanted to let you know. Firstly, except for next Friday, which is Good Friday, there will be some leaders on Discord from, I think the window is 7 till 8. 7 till 8:30. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Every Friday night to just hang out with you, check in with how you're going. We really want to hear from you. On top of that with Discord, you might want to talk to, I'm going to defer to the wisdom in that spammy live chat of Hugo, Matt, and Siobhan, who've set up a Discord that is an unofficial Attic Discord. We might ask them to post that in the general chat later tonight so that other people can join that. And even though that's not being run by the youth leaders, I'm assuming that's up and running all the time and doesn't have restrictions of people shutting it down as ours does. So we would also encourage you to maybe utilize the Discord that those senior guys have set up to catch up with people over the holidays. And if you don't know the deets, kind of bug them until they give you the deets. And the other thing is just like keep an eye on our Instagram. There is also now an unofficial Attic Instagram, which is supposedly Attic_the_unofficial. I think that is correct. And I've seen the memes on there. They're pretty funny. So look out for them.
There's a question, Claire.
There's a question supposedly.
From
Hugo Miller.
During the death of Jesus, / separation from God, was that the tearing apart of the Trinity?
Yeah, that's kind of a little bit what happens there. Like, in the moment of Jesus' crucifixion, where he cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me? It's definitely like there is a separation of God, of Jesus from the other parts of the Trinity, because in that moment on the cross, all the sin of all humanity is poured into Jesus, and God and sin cannot kind of live together. So yeah, there's kind of a temporarily bit of a break in the Trinity. I was about to use fancy Bible college language, but I won't. And then obviously after the resurrection, that is all back in living colour and order again. But yeah, there is a moment on the cross where there is a break between Jesus and God. I don't know if there's any other questions, because that's a really complex,
That's a huge question.
Philosophical and theological idea that takes a while to unpack, and I wouldn't be able to answer it succinctly. So Hugo, keep asking good questions, and hopefully one of us will be able to give you a nice, long and clear answer. So yeah, as I said, we're about to move to Discord for discussion groups, which will also include the game, but also on the holidays, make sure you check in with us Friday 7 to 8:30 and hang out on the the Discord unofficial one, and follow the Insta and the unofficial Insta. All right. And Ollie is about to post the Discord link, so have a look at that. All right, see ya in Discord, guys.
You want to stay here? Maybe we'll go.
Yeah, I'll just sit here for a second and get the Discord link shared to YouTube. For those of you who are still here and have joined the Attic Discord, you should go to that now, because your leader should be in it. Can someone make sure Kern knows to go to the Discord? What's up? Oh, they thought, yeah.
I thought you meant Trinity Grammar.
Yeah, it's good content.
Nice content.
Hopefully you all can get in the Discord. If you have any Discord issues, I will try and see than from where I'm sitting. But you have to understand, I'm sitting about 3 or 4 meters away from the TV, and your comments are real small. And I see there are still 17 or so of you here. Yeah, so let's just hang for a minute. And I'm getting the link. And let me just figure out where my mouse is.
Can't be in the same chat without Kern.
Uh,
Give me a sec, mate. Let me just get Kern.
You all can enjoy my face while I try and find this. I can't remember how to share this Discord. Change. Invite people. That's the button I'm looking for. Copy. And then... Alright, so... Sorry, I was sitting here and you weren't. You're all looking at my head, which you shouldn't be. You should be in your Discord. But if you're not in the Discord yet, my computer is frying. And so let me just try and add it, and then we'll see what happens.
Hey Finn, there'll be people in your channel soon. Just go to your channel and people will join up.
That may have worked, it might not have worked.
Waiting for Kern. Waiting for Kern.
How we doing? Is everyone on holidays or one more week?
There we go. That is the Discord. I want to end the stream.
Yeah, 1 second. We're just getting off live here.
If my computer decides that it wants to work.
Oh, right. Okay.
Cool. Stay safe, everyone.